Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Dr. Priye Ohari. I'm so excited and I welcome each and every one of you to our episode 3. We are so grateful for you to have followed us thus far to this point. We are excited. Today, we'll be discussing another important topic. It is the impact of polygamy on the child. When I was going through this on from Google, I saw a lot of effect it has on the child. Polygamy is, people can look at it, a father can look at it, he just wants to get married to 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. The woman just sees a man, she loves him, he has money, or she loves him, or she was coerced into it by tradition or whatever. But she doesn't know the impact of that decision it has on the child. There are so many things that have been lined up that are written there. The thing it does on the mind of the children. Okay, so let me tell us a little bit of story about the impact this polygamy had on me. Polygamy actually had so much, it brought so much fear, but made me to be more defensive, made me to see things not the way it is said, but I'm saying the back of what you are saying. I'm saying this is what you are saying, but this is what you mean. Even when you did not mean it. Initially I've mentioned to us about the impact it had on me. When I met my husband is from a monogamous family, a father and a mother with children. So it means what it says and says what it means. For me, from polygamous family, he will say a thing and I'm hearing something entirely different. And we had these issues back and forth. Then from my own family, every Saturday, there was wrestling in my house. There must be fight. This set of children fighting with this set of children, and every person had allies that joined them. This particular set of children are the allies of this person, this set of children. So we had allies. The men are fighting, the sisters are divided, they are together with who is your mother's child. So it continued like that. So our voices, when we're arguing a case, your voice will be raised and the loudest win the case. So when I met my husband and he's talking and I'm also talking, next thing we say, you're shouting. I say, no, I'm not shouting, I'm talking. He will say, no, you're shouting. You shouldn't shout, you are shouting. And that had his own effect too. At the end of the day, it got as if he couldn't just stand it. He just saw one troublesome woman that he had just met. At the end of the day, he walked out of the relationship. And for 2 years, we broke up and he went his ways. When he went his way, one way or the other, after like 6 months, I got a call one day and it was a guy that I'd met at my friend's wedding, and he called me up and said, hi, my name is this, we met at this person's wedding. And it was so nice. I'm even smiling when I remember it because it was very dramatic, the way we met. So we're now talking. We spoke for like a month plus. Then he was working in one of the oil fields outside Port Harcourt. So he said he was coming to town, and said, and I said, should I come and pick you up? He said, no, I shouldn't come and pick him up. That he was going to look for my house. Remember, I can't place his face. There were no phones. There was phone, but there was no, video calls at that time. So I couldn't place his face, but he said he was going to look for the house. So I gave him my address. So when he got into Port Harcourt, he called, we were talking. From when he got into Port Harcourt, got a cab, was coming to my street. We were just talking. When he got to my street, he was telling me, okay, where's your house? I'm on your street. This time we were talking on phone until I got a knock on the door. When I opened the door, it was this man. Wow, he was so handsome. We were like, oh, hey, yeah, you're free, yeah, this. And we talked. That's how, I was heartbroken for my husband that has left me, my fiancé that have left me, that he said he didn't want to marry me. I was quarreling, I was too loud. He had his reasons. Anyways, Now God has brought one very handsome guy into my space. So I want to tell us the effect polygamy has on the person, on the child. Now, that effect polygamy had on me is what cost me my relationship with my husband. Now, I now met with my fiancé. I now met this guy. I now wanted to change myself to be a better, more quiet, more loving, more no arguing with a man, humble kind of person. So that's how, we started talking, whatever. But at that time, I've become a born again and everything. So I said, okay, let me go to his station to go and see him. He told me the church he was attending, and everything. But one way or the other, and I said, okay, since I was going to travel to that station, I went to the market, which a lot of women do. I want to just mention it too. All this cooking, washing clothes, sweeping house, they are good though. They are very good, but it's not a guarantee. So follow me on this story. So I now went to the market. I shopped. I bought things, what to use and cook soup and everything. And my brothers were laughing at me. He said, Nebwe, this big snail. I said, leave it. And I said, okay. Nobody said anything. They were looking at me. I was packing the things, arranging them, washed the snail and everything put it together, got the boat and went to this island. Or inside the boat, we got to this island. So I now went to the house as the madam of the house now. And now, just went to the kitchen, cooked with my heart, washed my hands and cooked this food finish. So after cooking, he was not around, so he went out. And when he came back, my girl is around, you need to tell some guys, So when he came back, you're around, oh baby, you're back, this and we finished talking. He now went to the kitchen. Next thing I heard, a big shout. What nonsense is this? I was thinking something has gone wrong or something happened. But I didn't attribute it to anything. I was still sitting where I was in the parlor. Next thing I heard my name. He screamed my name. I startled. And I was like, okay, what is it? I went there. So he now came to the parlor to come and meet me. He said, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with... And I was wondering, what is wrong with me? How? My dear. I was still seated though. This gentleman came to where I was sitting, held my ear. I followed, so that he would not squeeze my ear too much. So as he was holding my ear, I was getting up slowly. Now dragged me to the kitchen and pointed to the gas. And I was looking at it. What is that? He said, you are so scattered, you are so this, you are so that. At that point, everything I have feared in my life of talking me down was just playing in my head. Ta, 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 ta. You are so this, you are so that. When he finished, and I asked, what was the issue? He said, when I finished cooking, why didn't I place the gas properly? Because the gas was clean, I'd cleaned it. So I now realized that the metal on the gas cooker, I placed it upside down. So all I did was to turn it to the right way and kept it. I went back and sat down. I thought about my life. I told myself, is this what I want to enter inside? Is this what it is? Is this? I shall reach out to my brother. My brother now told me that I should be humble. I should be humble. My problem that I'm feeling this way because I'm not humble. That it's only humble women that see a husband though. I want to bring it to why people remain in abusive marriage, abusive relationship because of validation from people. I needed the validation from my brother who told me I needed to be humble, That all this one, that I need to be humble. Oh. I need to be humble so that I can just get married. And that time, I think I was 24. I was going on 25. So when he now did that, after that shout, I now told him I needed to go back to Port Harcourt. He said that the boat that he booked for me is the next day. I said I needed to go back to Port Harcourt. So he got upset. So I came, carried my bag, went straight, got a bike, entered the bike, asked the bike that I needed to get to the jetty. I'm a Nimbe girl now, so I'm not afraid of water. I'm not afraid of speedboats. So I went to the jetty, paid my ticket, entered the boat, and came to Port Harcourt. So when I got to the house, when my brother saw me, they all started laughing. Like, did they drive you? I said, no, they didn't drive me. So in that said, so I told them the story. They said, so where is the soup? I wear those big snails. I said, I left it. They said, you mean you came back without that soup? Anyway, cut long story short, that experience made me. But I still found a way to forgive him. When he told me he was sorry, he was just upset. He's a very clean person. And he just felt that he needed, as the wife that he wants to get married to, I needed to be more decisive, more pay attention to details, ensure that things are kept in their right places. I said, okay. Did my brother now say that I need to be submissive? All right. So, fast forward to what made me to tell myself, and what I would tell a lot of women. You need to get to that point of knowing what you can tolerate. If you know that you have reached your threshold, do not mind what any person can tell you. Turn your back and walk away. You are the one inside it. They said, he that wears the shoe knows where the shoe pins him. Turn your back and walk away for your peace of mind. It cuts across relationships. It cuts across family members. It cuts across everything, including, look, even myself. I told myself recently, all these ones you stay inside family group, at the end of the day, it will be as if it's insult that is coming. You cut what you can tolerate on time and just move. So this young man, we made up, he told me, he was sorry, and everything. And cut long story short, there was a time he was coming to Port Harcourt again. At that time, I had my car. I had Audi 90 that I bought for my business I was doing. So he said it was, and the car had been giving me issues. It will stop, it will go off, they will need to push it before it will start. So he had been advising me, go to the mechanic. Maybe I should send my mechanic to you and all that. So that particular day he said he was coming to town. So I can come and pick him from the jetty. So I drove to the jetty, picked him up. He went to his brother's house in Ajip and everything. He changed what he was wearing to drop me off in my house so that he can just go and see his friends and whatever. So we got to Ajip, dropped me off. Then he changed. Then when he came downstairs, to drive out, and he tried to start the car did not start. So it just hit the dashboard so hard. The noise just shocked me. I was so shocked like this. Then he just started raining the same shout. You are this, you are so that. You mean you have not fixed this car? Car that is my car. After he has finished shouting, he just came down from the car and banged the door. Like, I was shaking inside this car. I sat down there. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. When it got to 40 minutes, I looked at the time. He was just standing beside there. Just bought biscuit from somebody that was selling biscuit there. And started eating. And drinking Coke. I was inside the car. I was so afraid. I just carried my phone, called my brother. Not my elder brother, that one can just beat me. So I just called another of my elder brother, but my pally in the family. So I called him. He said, where are you? I said, I'm in Egypt. Because I don't have a large circle. I don't have many friends like that. So he knew where my friends were staying. He said, who is staying in Egypt? I said, you should just come. So I now begged him, you should please come now. You should please come. That my car refused to start. He said, yeah, is that not what he's doing that car? Just call somebody to push the car and the car will start. And I said, no, I was so afraid to even come down from the car. So my brother and I said, okay, it's coming. So my brother took a bike. If you stay in Port Harcourt, you understand where D-Line is and where Egypt is. He took a bike from D-Line and came to Egypt. So I described the place and he came. It took him like about 12 minutes on a bike to get there because it's quite far. I don't know whether it's 12 minutes. I can't really tell. But it took a while for him to get there. When my brother got there, he now looked at the car, opened it, looked at the car and just saw somebody passing because the compound is not a gated compound. So he saw somebody and said, oh boy, I beg, just come, help me push this car a bit. The guy just came, helped him to move the car, push the car a bit, and the car started because that is the issue of the car. My brother now just told me, he said, but I told you this is the problem of this car. Why didn't you, now you made me to leave everything I'm doing to come to this, and he started talking. Next thing, he turned his face and saw this guy standing. And he looked at me and said, is that not this your friend? I said, no, he's not the one. He said, it looks like him. I said, no, he's not the one. Let us go. He said, did you people quarrel? That's how the other time he chased you from this thing. I said, no, nothing. He's not the one. Now said, no, nothing. He's not the one. Let us go. Let us go. This man was still standing there. My brother entered the car. So my brother turned and looked at me. What are you doing here, sir? I said, I came to see my friend. The person was not there. So he said, why are you on the passenger seat? I said that I knew he was coming, so I moved over. I kept lying to cover. And that's what happens a lot of time when people are in abusive relationship and abusive marriage. The woman will come with broken leg tomorrow. She will say she fell inside the bathroom. She will have her head, one side will cut. She will say that she was walking and she somersaulted. That's what happened. She will need to lie to cover up and lie to give the person a good face, and it happened a lot of time because of the journey where we're coming from. My brothers made me to feel as if, oh, this is your daddy, this is your mouth that is sharp, you will not get married. So me, I was 24, going on 20. In fact, I was 25 at that point. I have to get husband, before I stay inside the house, because my brother used to tell me, say, if you don't get married, you continue to say that what they will do to you. So I needed to do this, but my dad kept telling me, don't worry, everything will be fine. But he's old now. He was getting old. When I was 25, my father was over 70 because he was 57 when I was born. So when I was 25, daddy was already hitting almost like 70 something. So he was already old. Getting old. So I needed to just put myself together and know where I'm going to. So that was how it was. My brother now drove. We left the place. As we got to my house, I picked up my phone, deleted this man's number from the phone. He tried calling me with another number. He would just call and say, babe, I would just cut the line. That's how I left him and told myself, I would rather be alone in this life than for me to enter this one. Anyway, cut long story short, coming back to the impact of polygamy on the child. I was actually battered from abuse, emotionally. When you keep telling a child that nothing good can come out of you, you are not going to do well, you cannot do this, you cannot amount to anything, the child will grow up wanting the validation of people. And that's what I was craving for all this while. Validation of people. I needed people to validate me and everything. Even while I was in secondary school, you'll be, having unnecessary friendship with people. But when I got myself, I could not. I had 2 friends, just 2 friends all through my secondary school. Till tomorrow, we are still friends. So if you are here listening to me, you might be wondering, my hair, I'm battered, I was abused, I'm pained. You can walk through it. Remember, it is a choice you have to make. It's not a choice that any person can make for you. I took that decision and ended that relationship. I told myself, I'd rather remain single and stay in my father's house and brace it out with all the back end that will come with it, than for me to get into that relationship that might lead to abuse. Because with that, my brother, they might just gather together one day and just beat up somebody's husband. So instead of us to get to that stage, I better just, remain that way. And as soon as I took that decision, my family embraced me, especially my brothers. They embraced me immediately. They rallied around me, and I didn't feel that lonely anymore. So if you feel that you don't have that support system, I had support system. My brothers were there. If you feel that you don't have that support system, give us a call. The numbers are showing. Call us on phone. We will be there for you. Because I know the role that support system plays in the heart of people. Maybe even somebody grieving, you need a lot of support system. Somebody that have good support system can pass through grief easier, can pass through abuse easier than somebody that do not have. So the healing table is here to give you that support, to give you that courage, to hold your hands, to walk through it, to hold your hands, to walk with you, and to guide you through this process. You can come out of it. You can you can have a beautiful life. You can make a good name for yourself. And watch out for the next episode where I'll be talking about how that relationship ended and what we did, the process. And today, I'm married to that man that left me before. Thank you. And have a blessed day. God bless you. And I ask that the Holy Spirit continue to comfort you, be with you, and strengthen you. He will guide you all the way. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He loves you. The Holy Spirit is there with you. He is our comforter. Jesus said it is expedient that I go, that the comforter will come. And that Holy Spirit dwells within you. God help you and God bless you.